All right, so let's get started then. Pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2025, this meeting will be conducted via remote means. Members of the public who wish to watch or listen to the meeting may do so by video conference only through Zoom. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be available, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. Excuse me. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite our best efforts, we will post on the Topsfield website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of the proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. Instructions for joining the meeting via Zoom are available on the town website under the ZBA section, and I call this meeting to order. The meeting is being recorded via Zoom and also by Boxford Cable TV for future viewing at Topsfield Cable On Demand on the town website. Is there anyone else present who wishes to record the meeting? Okay. Seeing none, we can get moving with the agenda. So when first on the agenda, I think it was one of the special permits, correct?
Yes, it's 239 Boston Street. I don't know, Mr. Chair, if you want to let people know, because again, we have a good crowd tonight about the possible continuance.
Sure, yeah. The applicant at Alfalfa Farm has requested a continuance of the public hearing in order to complete sound studies that he is conducting, and also to continue work and finish up drainage and site plans that are in process. So he has requested that the public hearing be extended until December 16th. Correct, Lynn, the 16th?
That's correct.
Right, at our next meeting. So I would move that we grant the applicant's request for an extension, a continuance rather, of the public hearing until December 16th.
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call vote. David Merrill?
Yes.
Dave Monez?
Yes.
Jody Kleineff?
Yes.
And I don't see Gregor here, so Bob Moriarty.
Yes.
Okay, so then the first agenda item for tonight is 239 Boston Street. This was published in the Salem News November 10th and 17th. Notice is hereby given that the Topsfield Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing during a Zoom Zoning Board of Appeals meeting Tuesday, November 25th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Instructions will be on the posted agenda on how to join the meeting via Zoom. To consider the application of Robert Marino for premises located at 239 Boston Street in the Business Highway District, requesting a special permit pursuant to Article 3, Section 3.02, Use 4.04, Retail Establishment Selling Food, Use 4.05, Retail Establishment Selling Sporting Goods, and Use 4.24, Fitness and Recreational Sports Facilities, and site plan review pursuant to Article 9 of the zoning bylaw to open an inclusive fitness and recreation center for children with different abilities. Robert J. Moriarty Jr., Chairman, Topsfield ZBA.
Great, thank you very much, Lynn.
You're welcome.
Okay, Mr. Marino, or Mr. Marino and Mr. Marino, I see that you're here with us this evening. So if you would like to tell us what it is that you have planned for the space and how it will be utilized, and what your expectations are in terms of number of people that may come to visit, hours of operation, and whatever else you can tell us about it. Before you start, though, I did want to make the point that we have, not only your application this evening, but also another application for a special permit at the same former Petco building location. So there may be some overlap in terms of what we're looking for in terms of not specifically your space, but how parking is going to be utilized and some, maybe whatever common elements that there may be, or whatever impact you may have on the exterior and use of the total building. So if you'd like to proceed, we're all ears.
All right, I am Robert Marino, and my partner is Red Rami. I am the founder of the Sensory Station. The Sensory Station is an all-inclusive gym for our kids with ASD, on the autism spectrum disorder, as well as sensory processing disorder, SPD. What this gym will entail is it will teach our kids how to use fitness equipment, how to control their bodies, their motions, and their movements. They will be instructed on aerobics, exercise, what happened?
That's fine. Just keep going.
STEM. Oh, nice. I see that. Thank you. STEM. Basically, all three of my children are autistic. And this is what brought me to do this project. All three of my children are autistic, and when we bring them anywhere, they're blocking their ears, they're hiding in corners, they're afraid of the loud noises, they don't want to be around crowds. All our children who have sensory needs have very similar issues. And I want to put in a training center and a safe place where everything is soft play and soft exercise equipment, where these kids can learn to socialize, they can learn to work out, exercise their bodies, control themselves, exercise their minds, their hands, and everything they do.
So
It is essentially a gym with training personnel to teach these kids how to work out. But our kids have trouble controlling themselves in their body movements. The exercise that they will be doing and the training they will be utilizing will teach them how to control themselves and how to work out. There's a lot of aspects that go into it, but it's a gym. It's a training center for kids.
Okay, and what amount of square footage are you going to be using?
9,800 square feet approximately. It'll go down a little bit once we get a full scale rendering.
Okay.
The blue area is what we are proposing at the moment. A few things would change the layout maybe, but that's the area. The blue area is ours.
Okay. And how many? Well, actually, let me ask you: are there other facilities that are similar to this that are operating in other parts of Massachusetts or throughout New England?
There is a couple medical-based facilities in the area that operate similar to this. This is not medical-based. It is public walk-in, monthly memberships, yearly memberships, and just drop in and watch your kids enjoy themselves and live.
Yeah, everything that's around the area that is what we've seen is this fall in two categories. One is the medical category, where you need a doctor's note and you go through insurance type of situations. And the second part is what you see, like the bouncy places, or like the Novas, and like the extra high kind of once in a year birthday party situations. So this is somewhere it's in between. So as far as we've seen, there's nothing that's close to us. There's a few places who are kind of similar or offer different programs within their establishment, but nothing that's focused on what we are trying to do.
Okay. And how many people could the facility accommodate at a time? Do you refer to them as students or participants, or?
Yeah, at full capacity, it's about 75 kids.
Okay. And how many instructors or?
So at 75 kids, we're looking at about 10 to 12 instructors.
Okay. So possibly somewhere in the 85 range would be a top.
Around 80, yeah. That's at full max capacity, about 80, 85, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Our children who on the spectrum do not like crowds. They do not like loud noises, loud spaces. The facility is going to be covered in foam, sound deadening equipment, as well as soft, everything soft. It's not going to be there's not going to be a lot of people because we need to keep the space between the kids to make them comfortable. So it's not a jump park. It's not an amusement park. You know, we can't have a lot of people in there. So it's very, very strict the way it's going to be put together, the operation wise.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, 80 people does seem like a lot for that amount of space. So, what about parking? So if you have, I mean, if you have 70 children, you know, how many parking spaces? And with the 70 children, would adults typically stay with the children during this period, or?
Yes, adults will stay at the gym with the adults accompany their children at the gym and play along with them and help them and watch them grow. And obviously the adults would have to drive them there. So it would be, you know, it's generally one adult, two children, or one adult, one child, or caretaker or caregiver, if you would.
Okay. So then the capacity would be 80, let's say 70 to 75 children plus 12 supervisors plus 35 parents?
Well, the children will become with their parents, right?
The children will be coming with their parents. If you're looking at parking wise, we're estimating about 40 parking spots.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how you're going to fit essentially about 120 people into that space, but
Yeah, we're trying to keep it far less than that. Like I said, once it's fully operational, we see the layout, we'll be able to adjust how many people in the space. It can allow, I believe, 100 and change, but we don't want to go anywhere near that. We need to keep it quiet and simple.
If you look at the bottom on the layout there on the left-hand side, there's a weighted area for parents to kind of sit and stay there. So they're not, you know, they're not walking around with the kids the whole time. So there'll be a waiting area for kids who are, you know, can go out there and take instruction from instructors. The parents don't need to be right next to them. So they can be in a waiting area where can be sitting down and kind of waiting for them to get out.
okay. Okay. So what would be your hours of operation?
So the hours of the operation will be a little bit flexible. Will be shorter hours during the school year, because we'll probably open, you know, we probably won't be open during the day because of the schools. Weekends will probably be open around between 9 and about 8 o'clock at night. So 9 a.m. to about 8 p.m. During the summer, we'll have extended hours because of school vacations. Those will be tweaked out as the time goes on, as far as, you know, when we figured out they're a little busier than others. You know, holidays and so on, weather dependent a little bit as well. So obviously, you know, middle of the summer, we might have shorter hours during the day. But you know, if it's a rainy day or anything like that, we might be able to get the hours a little longer.
Okay, but definitely Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Saturdays and Sundays will be open. Yeah.
We really need to go along with the community, what the community needs are, and adjust as we go.
Yeah, the main attraction to our facility, it's not a once a year type of arrival. That's why the capacity, we're not really based on capacity too much on it, because we're not trying to pack everyone in there for one day to maximize our revenue for that particular day. We're actually building this establishment for people to come in on a regular basis, just like adults go to the gym, you know, 2-3 times a week. That's what we're trying to build, where kids will come in multiple times a week for an hour session or an hour and a half. We're not trying to build that venue when people come in for their birthdays once a year and they, you know, kind of let out energy. So you're trying to maximize that Saturday, or you're trying to maximize that Sunday, those hours of operation. We're trying to build an experience. We're not trying to push to maximize the income of kids in there. We're trying to make sure that the experience that the parents have and the kids is what brings them back multiple times a week. And that's kind of what we're looking at this place to be when people come in multiple times a week.
Place for the community to gather. all our kids.
Okay, all right.
Are there, sorry. Are there age limitations on this, or will there be some age guidelines for people coming,
Yeah, so
autistic kids coming in?
Yeah, so our ages are between 5 and 12.
Okay.
Okay, all right. And no outside activities?
No,
We don't want anybody in our parking lots or outside the building. That's way too dangerous.
no, people will be coming in. There's going to be one, the main entrance where people come in, it will be checked in. But no outside, no outside gathering or no outside activities or play or anything like that. Everything will be inside.
Okay, all right.
Well,
So,
will this be funded by people's medical insurance, or
No,
It is not
strictly
medically
what
driven at all.
people want to pay?
this is individual people paying for either memberships, yearly memberships, monthly memberships, packages of 5 or 6, however they want to break it down, walk-ins, but we're hoping to build a community around it where it's either monthly base or yearly or packages.
Or just daily drop in. If you wanted to bring your grandson over and wanted to get some steam out, you can let him run around and play and have a good time. Your grandkids. It's a happy place. That's the plan. Easy in to come in and enjoy for our caretakers, moms, dads, grandparents, and the kids.
So if a kid comes in for the day, do they have to present some kind of evidence that they have an autistic situation?
No, absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. Everybody in the world today has some kind of disability, if you would. And
Oh my God, don't even dare say
right,
that.
right. I mean, I attribute it back to the days when we were kids, when we were eating all the foods that the government gave us, red dyes and all that stuff.
Easy.
But yeah, everybody is welcome, and I want everybody to have a good time and be happy. A nice, safe place.
The idea is that we'll have different equipment throughout the layout, and if there's a parent or guardians that has a specific issue or specifically thing that they want their kids to work on, they're more than happy to talk to our staff and say, hey, listen, my kid has low body core, so he needs to work on his balance, so he needs to work on his upper body strength, right? And our staff will be able to direct them to, like, hey, listen, if they want to work on the body, on upper body strength, we got some monkey bars out there that they can work on the ropes, they can work on swinging. Or hey, my grandkids or my child has some issue with balances. Okay, so we have this area up here which got a little trapeze or got a little tumbling area, a little foam. So
Balance beam.
yeah, balance beam. So more of a helping kind of guidance through different equipment and different exercises that they can do there, but they can also bring them at home and kind of show them a little exercise, little tips that they can do and help their kids or grandkids or whoever they bring in. So that's the goal. That's the idea, is to kind of teach the kids from a young age that exercising and movement is not something that you do once in a while. It's something that you do on a regular basis, something you work on yourself, and hopefully that gets some of these kids, gives them the confidence to start there and possibly maybe even go, because some of those kids don't go to play sports because of that inability to get those first steps going. And hopefully this can kind of give them the confidence of, like, hey, I can do this if I practice. I can do this if I keep working at it. That's why we emphasize so much. We're not really caught up on the amount of people coming in, that we're more focused on them coming in on a regular basis. Like, we're more excited having, for example, 30 people come in on a regular basis that we are having 75 people on a Saturday. Because that kind of motivates us to get them the right equipment, get them the right exercises, give them the right instruction. That's what we're looking for.
okay.
When these kids present themselves at the front door, you do not necessarily ask for evidence that they have an autism situation.
Absolutely.
They come into the door. They can, if they've been there, we'll ask them, hey, have you guys been here before? No, we haven't. Would you like a tour? Yes, I would. Okay, great. So this is the area that we focus on upper body. We got the monkey bars. This is the area that we focus more on balance beam. You can start playing whatever you want. If they say, you know what, we've heard this from a friend of ours that we want to come in and we kind of want to work on our upper body strength. Great. We'll help you out, put you where you need to go. Hey, I've been here before. I know exactly where I'm going. go right ahead. Or you know what? I don't want any help. I just want to go play around, roll around, and burn some speed. Go right ahead. So we're there to help. We're not there to judge. We're not there to push anything. We're not selling any equipment. We're not selling any guidance. We're just there to help. If they need help, we'll give them help. If they don't, then they can have a good time.
Okay. Is there any licensing required?
Negative, none. It's not a medical facility. There's no medical issues at all, so we don't need any.
We're
licenses.
not doing diagnoses. We're not, we're just show them how to use the exercise machines. We're trying to show them what certain exercises, what they build, which part of the body they build, which part of the body that, can get stronger, how to use it. And that's pretty much it.
Okay. Lynn, can you explain what you understand about the parking situation there?
Yes. So Petco was there before, and they're a retail store. So the parking requirements were one spot for every 250 square feet. So they're about 20,000 square feet, that building, both what these gentlemen are looking to use on one side and then the other side. So Petco would have needed to have 78 parking spaces. So that's what was required when Petco moved in, and they didn't seem to have any problem. And now these gentlemen are saying that they need 40 for their half of the building. So as long as the other half doesn't need more than 38, there should be plenty of spaces.
Okay. And based upon the bylaw in terms of spaces would it be per square foot for use like this?
Yes, and since they are not a retail per se, they're a little bit retail, but they're mainly other. The requirement is one spot for 350 square feet. It's not as intensive.
Okay. All right. And so, Mr. Marino, do you have an arrangement with your landlord as part of your lease as to spaces? Do you have dedicated parking spaces, or is there anything in your agreement with the landlord about parking spaces?
We do not have anything in our lease agreement regarding parking spaces. Our landlord is on this meeting. We can absolutely put something in there if needed, if that's what you would like.
Okay. I was just more curious in terms of wondering whether or not, for example, and the next applicant, I'll ask the same thing, because I would be concerned about spaces that would be restricted, for example, that would not be generally available, because I'm assuming that your use may have, well, frankly, your use and the other applicant may have similarly intense usage requirements on the weekends, for example. But anyhow, so we can address that. So
Just to put it in perspective, like, we don't expect our kids or our family to stay there throughout the day. So it's more of a rotation. You'll come in for an hour and a half or an hour, and then you'll take off. So we don't expect people, to stay there for 4 hours. So the rotation on our parts will be moving pretty fast, about an hour and 15 minutes per child. So we don't expect kids to stay there for 5-6 hours, where the spaces are kind of taken for the whole day. We're also going to have a computer system to manage the capacity of people coming in, especially once we get further ahead into the business where we'll have membership. So we'll ask people to come in, especially on the weekends. We'll put restriction on it, on as far as, spots being available or people being able to check in before they come in. So we'll be able to manage our at least on our end, the parking situation, the guests and the kids coming in, I think, in a pretty decent, reasonable way.
okay, yeah, it actually in terms of parking usage, your use actually probably generates more parking demand with only an hour and a half turning over, because that means like every hour and a half you got 30 cars coming in, 30 cars going out. So it certainly seems like there's adequate space based upon the parking requirements of the bylaw. So it seems to be fine. I have no doubt that sometime you're going to run into places you're gonna run into instances with people need to park at the perimeter of the property and walk a little bit, but it's not that big a property. They can manage it. So
Yeah, just to clarify that, so the way the hours, the hour or hour and a half works is that you leave an hour and a half the moment you came in. So it's not like everyone's coming in at 9 o'clock and everyone's leaving at 10:30. So if somebody comes in at 9 o'clock, he's leaving at 10:30. If somebody comes at 9:30, they're leaving at
Staggered.
at staggered time at 11 o'clock. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
there's always a rotation of difference. So
yeah, no, I understand. And actually, my experience is with hockey rinks. So
okay, there you go.
Yeah.
children and grandchildren playing hockey. So I know that like at 10 minutes before to 10 minutes after the turn of the rink, there are, twice as many cars that are there waiting to load and unload. And, but as I said, it certainly seems that there is enough parking that will be available that it's not going to be an insurmountable issue. Sometimes somebody may have to wait for a space or somebody may have to walk from the perimeter, but it certainly does not seem like an insurmountable obstacle based upon your usage there and the amount of parking that's available. As Lynn has indicated, Petco operated there for a number of years, and we never had people parking on Route 1, so
Yeah.
it was not a problem.
And we don't think that the group of people will be together more than a couple. So, maybe you'll have a couple of kids that are meeting together, but you won't have, a group of 20 kids coming at the same time, there's smaller groups. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyone else on the board have questions? David, do you have additional questions?
I don't have any other questions.
Okay, Jody, you're all set. David Monaz?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. And David Merrill, you're all set? It seems to be a yes, he's all set. Okay, thanks. All right. Anyone in the public who wishes to speak? I see one hand up. Is that? Am I seeing? Oh, I'm seeing my own scroll. I'm seeing my own mouse. So
Okay, I don't see any hands.
Okay. All right. Great. So if no one else has any questions or concerns, Lindsay?
Yeah. Hi, I live in the house behind the building in
Yeah, I'm
question.
sorry. Could you give us your name and address?
Yeah, so
And-
my name
and
is
you'll
Lindsay
have to
Easton.
You'll have to
I
turn
live
on your
at
camera.
5 Woodbriar Road.
You'll have to turn on your camera.
I heard you.
Okay.
Lindsay, I'm sorry, what was your last name?
Easton.
Easton, thank you.
I live at 5 Woodbriar Road, the house right behind the building. My only question is about lighting, if there's going to be any additional need for lighting in the parking lot. I think most of the lighting comes actually from behind the building. So I just had questions about that.
Well, I think we'll have adequate lighting for people to come in and out of the building. But beyond that, we don't see anything that we added more to the building. It is, we've actually gone and seen the building, the lights that are now, and they're good for us as far as we're concerned. And we're also not, obviously we're closing earlier, so I don't think anything beyond 9 o'clock would be from our perspective going on at all.
Okay. So it's difficult to tell from the floor plans, but so physically this space is located in the front right of the building. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay,
The only
and-
exit in the back is the emergency exit.
Okay. So people would not be entering or exiting?
No, unless an
Okay.
emergency.
And
obviously.
and parking is, how much parking is there
Mostly-
behind the building?
I'd say about 80, maybe 90% of the parking would be in the front of the building. There's a few spots on the right, but very limited because there's also a driveway to go behind the building. So that's not a lot. So most of the use of the building, of the parking will be in the front of the building.
Okay. When do we have anything on the?
No, we had talked about that. The site plan does not show the parking lot, but it is, as they mentioned, in the front primarily. There are a couple of spots around the side, but It's really primarily in front.
Yeah, and the spots on the side will be, make sure to notice that we'll have our staff parked there, so there won't be in and out movement. So we'll keep all of the movement in front to the left side of the building, so that way there's no much going on to the right side.
Okay. So, no changes in the exterior lighting then, or?
None.
Not unless required by the city or whatever. But as far as we're concerned, no, not really.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm having issues with my camera. It's protected wetlands behind us, so we have very few options available to us in terms of mitigating that aspect. So I just wanted to be clear on what's going to happen with that.
So we have nothing going on in the back of the building. There's actually other tenants behind us in the back of the building. So we have really no need to be there or any reasons to add or subtract lighting in the back of the building.
Okay. Okay. So we can certainly impose a condition that, no new lighting, other than what's existing be added to the property. That, unless required by the building inspector. And any such lighting would be downlit.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Say it again.
Any lighting that the building inspector might require for safety concerns, and I frankly can't see that he would have to be downlit so that
Sure.
it did not extend beyond property boundaries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have no. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I
So
said,
when
even all the check-in of our kids will be inside the building. So there's no, as long as people can see, walking and then get it into the building, that's all the light that we need. Everything will be done inside.
Okay. So when you say that there's other tenants behind you, so the emergency exit that you talked about goes out to the back, or does it go out and then to the side?
Side of the building, yeah. But I'm not sure where her house was exactly, but there's, behind the building, there's another L-shaped building, and that's where the tenants are, and above on behind us is tenants. So I'm not really sure, where her house is.
Okay.
Yeah, so tenant
Thank you.
A, yeah,
Okay.
tenant A is behind, that's where behind us. So half of the building behind us is occupied by another tenant. So we can't even, and
Okay.
if you see the exits right on the right-hand side, they're right underneath the tenant A. There you go.
Thank you, Lynn.
All right. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, Lynn, I guess we're going to vote to close the public hearing.
That'd be great. Is there a motion?
I'll make a
Yeah.
motion.
Second? Dave Moniz. Okay. Roll call. David Merrill? Yep. Okay. Dave Moniz?
Yes.
Jody Kleiniff?
Yes.
Bob Moriarty?
Yes. Okay. So a motion to approve. Do we have a requirement to do site plan with this also because it's changing use?
That was in, yes, it's both.
Yeah.
Was in the legal notice.
Right.
It's both.
Okay.
You're approving 3 permits and site plan review.
Okay. All right. So I would make a motion that we approve. I don't see the need to. First of all, I think we can waive going through the site plan checklist, considering that there's no changes to the exterior of the building, no changes to the parking. I assume you don't have control over the painting of the building, that your landlord will continue to control that. So I don't think that we need to go through the extensive checklist for site plan approval. So I would make a motion that we approve the special permit and site plan approval, and subject to the only conditions that I can think of is, first of all, that no additional exterior lighting except as may be required by the building inspector, and that subject to requirement that it all be downlit and not extend beyond the property boundaries. In terms of hours of operation, I guess I would like to see, certainly, the hours that you've expressed are fine. I think that probably 8 p.m. would be the latest that it would be open, and then perhaps on Sundays no later than 6 p.m.
Yeah, so I think from the studies that we've done, I think the 9 o'clock it's on in the summers. It's usually where we would like to be. I mean, most certainly we can meet somewhere in 8:30, so we can have, but 9 o'clock on the Sundays we're looking for around 7 o'clock. And again, this would mostly be for the summer, because the days are more extended than the nights are longer. Now, as far as like during the week during the school year, we were wanting it to get 9 o'clock because we'll be opening later. So we'll be opening probably around 3 p.m. During school years. So we have the kids given the chance to do the after school. So when they get out of school around 3:15 or 3:30, get there by 3:45, get a few hours of exercise or classes or whatever we might have going on. So that's kind of what we're landing on the hours.
Okay, so your request would be 9 p.m.
That would be ideal for us, yeah.
Okay, and then 7 p.m. on Sundays?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Okay, any thoughts about that? Jody, Dave?
No,
I think it's probably fine. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So that would be when the limitation on hours. And then other than that, I can't think of any additional conditions that I think we would need for this. So is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call. David Merrill? He got a thumbs up. Dave Moniz,
Yes.
Jody Kleineff,
Yes.
and Bob Moriarty.
Yes. Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll get
Thank
the
you.
decision.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
We'll get the
Hopefully
decision
see you all.
drafted and get it filed. So,
Yeah. Hopefully see you all in grand opening.
okay. Well, I
Thank
hope
you.
it goes very well. It certainly sounds like a terrific program to add to the community. So, I really
We are
hope it
very
goes well for
excited.
you.
Yeah.
Very excited to bring this to the community. We all need it. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate everything.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of
Thank
the
you.
evening.
Now you have to start doing senior balance.
Baby steps. All
Okay. All right. Thanks. Good night.
right. Good night. Thank you.
Okay. Lynn, want the announcement for the next one?
Okay, the next one, this was published in the Salem News, November 17th and 24th. Notice is hereby given that the Topsfield Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing during a Zoom Zoning Board of Appeals meeting Tuesday, November 25th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Instructions will be on the posted agenda on how to join the meeting via Zoom to consider the application of Mendat Messick, DBA Topsfield Fine Foods, for premises located at 239 Boston Street in the Business Highway District, requesting a special permit pursuant to Article 3, Section 3.02, Use 4.04, Retail Establishment Selling Food, and Use 4.12E, Retail Specialty Foods, and Site Plan Review pursuant to Article 9 of the zoning bylaw to open an upscale specialty food market. Robert J. Moriarty Jr., Chairman, Topsfield CPA.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so who do we have here for the applicant?
Yes.
Okay,
Matt Hatnisak.
great.
And
So if you could give us your name and where you currently reside, and then kind of go into what it is that you've got in mind.
So my name is Matt Hatnisak. So I've been called by Mike Nisak. And right now I own a company in Woburn, Mass. We sell fine, like high quality meat, nice restaurants. And I spend my life working with food, starting from spices. I own my business, couple pizza place, Denver's. I sold them, and I always dreamt to make that kind of market that's you can get that food that's unavailable everywhere. It's hard to get. Something like good quality and with the same side with the organic and that healthy food that people can get without like without tricks and without trying to show that's good, but it's the reality is not, because people now start to change. Now people read the labels, they look for something really healthy, which is look for hard to find. It's hard to find. So I see the spot is just right, the right location for that, because Topsfield, Danvers, North Shore, right in the North Shore. That's we're gonna be people are gonna be doing.
Lynn, is it only me, but I'm having difficulty hearing?
Yeah, his I thought it was my speakers. He was in and out.
Oh, I am in and out. Okay, so we're trying to make the Topsfield Fine Food is upscale specialty food. That's we gonna offer the high quality food, especially meat and poultry, and vegetables, side by organic food, grass fed, non-antibiotic. That's very high quality and healthy food, getting away from the what it's offered in the supermarket.
Mike, do you mind adjusting your camera so we can see your mouth? It's a little easier to do a little lip reading as well. Thank you.
Okay. So, can you describe what experience do you have in the food industry, or?
Okay, right now I have I own a company called Giovanni Veal Meat Company in Hoover. We are a wholesale meat company. We sell to restaurants and some markets, like Sarah's Market and Route One, some small markets, and a lot of restaurants. Most of them in the north end. Most of the north end are our customers. Since then, when I started the meat, I see what's in the supermarkets and what they offer people, and they making as much. They focusing more on profit, not on quality. Like they offer people cheap meat for maybe higher price for that kind of meat. So when I go shopping for myself, I don't buy that meat because I know I can see it from experience. So I'm trying to make the market that can offer the quality I know to the people. So and with the meat, we trying to go for organic and environmentally groceries that cares about environment. I came from, I worked in the food industry. I had 2 pizza places. I worked at gourmet kitchens, so I know how to make food. So we're gonna offer ready to eat food, and our cases. I wrote the business plan. I don't know if you guys have it, or you guys have my business plan.
Yes, it was part of the application.
Okay. All right. So Lynn has put up your proposed layout of the space.
Mhm.
I think it's fairly self-explanatory. So how much space are you going to occupy?
Around almost 7,800 square feet.
Okay. And in terms of a food, meat, organic vegetable, so is this, I assume that this is on the small side?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're not gonna be as big as like market fast.
Okay. So, just in terms of, just for reference, how would this compare to like a 7-Eleven or?
No, it's not 7-Eleven. You can compare this like to the butchery maybe right there in Denver's, but we're gonna have more variety. And we can compare to McNinnan's in Denver's.
Okay, in terms of size, then?
That's almost the same. In terms of size for 7-Eleven, that's 3 times more than 7-Eleven, I guess. Like
Okay.
7-Eleven is around 2,000 square.
Okay, so this is closer to the butchery size in Danvers.
Yes.
Okay,
Maybe a little bit bigger than the butcher.
all right. So when parking spaces for 7,800 square feet for retail, what are we
Yeah,
looking at for requirement?
Yeah, this, all of Petco was retail. So they had both sides, all retail, and it was, one parking spot for every 250 square feet. So if he has 7,800 divided by 250, he needs 31 parking spaces.
Okay,
And the other place had 40 and Petco had 78. So they're still under what Petco was required to have.
okay. But we don't actually know how many there actually are.
We do not.
Okay. But we know whatever's there is what's historically been there.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what do you envision your hours of operation will be?
I believe we're gonna start from 6 to 9. Maybe we're gonna go shorter later if we find there's specific hours there's enough business. But 6 to 9, that's what I think we should.
Okay. Okay. And Lynn, this is, so physically this space is located to the left of
Yes.
the prior applicant space.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the front left of the building then?
Yes.
Ah, okay. Okay, yep, that makes it much clearer. Okay. And that's, there's nothing behind this building then?
No.
Okay.
It's a high uphill, so it's this building like from the back is under.
Okay. So where your entrances will be on the left-hand side then?
It's gonna be, you see with the word food, that's the entrance in the front. Like this. So the
Right here?
entrance is right there. Yeah.
Your mic isn't picking up what you just said. I
Yeah,
couldn't hear anything.
I think it's the main entrance at Petco.
Yes.
I'm assuming it's the same doors, the sliding doors, for the old Petco.
The same front door for both. Yeah.
Okay. So no changes to the exterior then?
No, we just gonna organize it to be like with the kitchen, deli, and room for meat in the back, and then the front's gonna be shelving and
It's very hard to hear you, Mike. Could you speak up a little?
yeah, there's no changes. Just gonna divide inside to make to build the coolers and the walk-in coolers, walk-in freezers, and the shelving.
Okay. So based on this, it looks like, so there are exterior windows on the front or no?
There is few windows in the front. Where is the walls are? That's window. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Okay. All right. Anybody else have questions?
I've got a
Anybody else?
couple. Well, it sounds, you said kitchen, so are you going to be selling prepared food as
Yes.
well?
Yes.
Okay, and then the kitchen aspect might impact the septic requirement. I'm not positive of that, but something to consider. Second question, will you be selling any alcohol?
Yes.
Okay.
So the septic. So we have a 9,000 gallon septic, and for supermarket we need around 97 gallon per day per 1,000 square feet. So we calculate that we need around 669 gallon
Okay.
per day, and that's the septic use the septic can take till 3,000 gallon per day.
Oh, not an issue, it sounds like.
Okay. So, the previous applicant had indicated that the landlord, the owner of the building, is here this evening. Is that correct?
So say
Yes,
again?
can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah.
And
Yes, it took me a while to figure out how to unmute my thing. My name is Joseph Yakis, and I'm the owner of the building. I don't want to misquote, but I think we're just shy of 100 parking spaces. I know there was a question earlier. I just couldn't raise my hand or unmute the button quick enough, but I believe it's either 98 or 96 spaces around the building. The back of the building is not completely there are spaces, and there's also an entrance for the offices on the second floor. So there are a dozen offices on the second floor. So the layout that you're seeing, there's another rectangular area above it, but those are all individual offices. So there's anywhere from 12 to 24. They're small offices. There are 350 to 700 square feet little offices. But the access is from the side, the left side, the plans that you're looking on the second floor. So it's slightly angled. So the main front area that both potential tenants are looking at is the floor plan that you're looking at, with the existing front door, the sliding door, which will be the Fine Foods, Topsfield Fine Foods, that is currently being discussed. And to the right of that, the blue area is the sensory station that was previously discussed. They have double, obviously, the building inspector will get involved in all of this construction control docs and so forth, but they've got plenty of double egress and all the requirements are going to be met. But as far as parking spaces, I think it will be sufficient because out of the 100 or so, I round off to 100. I would say that 70 plus is on the front side. The front side is pretty well. There's spaces in the middle of the parking lot and all around the outer edges in a triangle. In regards to the lighting, there's already 3 major flood lamps on each street post where the street lights are, but the flood lamps are basically pointing in a triangle to that big, large parking area that was probably done for Petco well before I bought it in 2009. So there's plenty of lighting, and there's subtle wall packs all around the building for safety purposes, and the police drive around, and they've even commented how nicely it was. I have added the wall packs because I thought it was kind of dark around the back of the building. So subtle wall packs that are on the building that basically light up all around the building for safety purposes.
Okay. And can you address the septic?
So if both tenants, potential tenants, were asked by me. I said, let's try to go out there and see. And Robert had an architect and an engineer involved. He actually, I wish it was addressed. I'm not sure if he's still on the phone, but he provided me the documentation. A civil engineer did the analysis, and on the gallons per hour required by different types of businesses, and it was basically came out that there's plenty. I mean, it's a 9,000. I think the septic system was put in when Petco spent millions of dollars. I saw the documentation and the original plans of what they went through to build out that entire retail area back. I want to say late 90s, if not early 2000. I don't want to be misquoted on that one, but they really did a tremendous, where it's two tanks that one pumps into the other, and then it pumps to the back leaching field. And it was like a 9,000 gallon capacity, and the flow rates, the analysis that he did, that I'm sure I can forward upon request, to see that there's plenty to suffice both areas. I mean, Petco was running the interesting thing someone pointed out, I forget if it was a civil engineer, Petco did grooming, washing and bathing dogs, and constant water. And my pet peeve was, without no pun intended, my pet peeve was that they were going through, the water bill was excessive, and there was nothing in the least anything I could do about it. So there was a lot of water going through it, and it seemed to have handled it. And the analysis that the civil engineer did, I think, was that they won't even come close to anything like that.
Okay, all right. So the 100 parking spaces that you refer to. So if assuming Petco required 78, as Lynn has indicated, that left 22 spaces for the office space that's up above, which
Yes,
probably doesn't meet the requirements, but I'm assuming that it is what it is. It's, the facility's been there for a long time, certainly. And so the office use, I assume, is largely Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, 8 to 6. So certainly off hours with sensory station, and to a large degree off hours with Topsfield Fine Food, which I assume is probably going to see peak foot traffic between 6 and 9 in the morning and 4 and 8 at night. I assume would probably be the peak foot traffic hours for this kind of a food store, and I guess also at lunch. But so I guess I think we're comfortable with the amount of parking spaces that are there. So are there any exterior changes that, painting or awnings or lighting that you contemplate for either of these uses?
so there's a current awning. That's a great point. There's a current awning right now that was covered up that says Petco. Obviously, that would come down. I always put the ownership on the tenant, that subject to town bylaws and building inspector and so forth approval, they may want to put up a sign. There's also a marquee sign that we take down the Lexan and put up new Lexan when the tenant moves in. But I would think that at a minimum, we should address the Petco awning being by a certified and licensed sign installation, to take down Petco and basically at a minimum put up two signs. I can't speak on behalf of Robert that spoke earlier, or Red from the sensory station, what they would want, but I don't think it's anything preposterous, or I obviously will not approve. There are guidelines in a commercial standard lease that subject to my approval, and I don't think I'm going to allow anything to change major alterations to the building or anything like that. It's a brick frontage, so we're not going to be repainting or doing anything like that. And it's basically siding. So there really there shouldn't be any with the minimum of replacing the name Petco that was covered up, but now the wind that came by a few weeks ago and now it's flapping in the wind. And I said, you know what, let's see how it goes tonight and see what we can address after that. But obviously Petco needs to be removed, and I would think that Mike would want to put something up subject to town approval.
Yeah, the town sign bylaw is something that would be within the jurisdiction of the select board. So it's not something that we have jurisdiction over, thank goodness. Okay, all right, great. Anybody else have, Jody?
Yeah,
David?
I have
David?
a quick question. You mentioned that you're preparing foods. Are you planning on having any seating inside for customers? Or is it just buy and go?
Just buy and go.
Okay. So what about food odors from cooking? I mean, how much cooking are you going to be doing?
Well, it's all gonna be prepared food. There is no up to order. It's gonna be prepared and going in a hot case, and people can grab it and go. Nothing like and daily sandwiches. This is the people gonna order. You're gonna come in, order, take it, and go. That's the ordering part. But no cooking for cooking will be just for the hot case.
Okay, so no frying, no ventilation.
No frying. We focusing on something like like what's gonna be like mostly convection ovens, and it's gonna be ovens and maybe grill, flat grill. That's all.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the last one.
It's gonna be mostly convection ovens.
Okay, and is that internally vented, externally vented?
It's gonna be it's two types of ovens. We didn't decide yet which one we're gonna go with, but I would prefer the internally vented, unless something showed up that we have to externally vented, and we're gonna work.
Okay, so yeah, Joseph, I would assume if he's externally venting, that's going to affect your office tenants upstairs. Does the lease allow for that?
So there is some duct work, and I forget what it's called, a chase or a soffit that goes right through, and there is stuff that comes through, like it goes right through the closet on the upper second floor that goes and vents through to the rooftop. So there is already pre-duct work there, and there's also a drop ceiling and truss work that we looked at a few options where it actually can come out of the side of the building. So we kind of have been going back and forth for many months with Mike and Albert, and there are a couple of options that would be subject to, obviously, the GC and the building inspector approving it and making sure, and the fire department being on board with all of this. So I'm sure we'll take the right steps to make sure that nothing affects or disturbs the tenants upstairs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also concerned about residents, although there aren't a lot. There are some, and you know, if you're venting food orders or fried foods or, you know, cooking constantly.
I was under the impression, I think he said there's no fried food and it's just fresh meats, just sliced like a deli. So I don't think there'll be a lot of venting involved.
Okay. Okay. All right. Jody, did you have anything else?
No, not offhand.
Okay. Dave Monaz?
Nope, thank you.
Okay. Do we lose David Merrill?
See with the, no, I'll stop. Oh, he's coming back in. There he is.
There he is. Okay, David Merrill, did you have any questions for the applicant?
I think I'm okay.
Oh, good, we have video and voice.
Wow, nothing like an iPhone.
No, okay, all right. So any questions or comments from members of the general public? Anyone who wishes to speak or in favor or opposed? No? Okay. All right, so I would move that we close the public hearing.
Second,
All right, roll call. David Merrill,
yes.
Dave Moniz,
Yes.
Jody Kleinef,
Yes.
Bob Moriarty.
Yes. Okay. All right. Any thoughts about any conditions? Again, I'll repeat myself with respect to site plan approval. Given that no exterior changes to the building, and that no changes to the parking, that I don't think we need to go through the entire site plan checklist. I think that the applicant will have satisfied it by requirements that no exterior changes be made to the building, other than removal of existing Petco awning and signage, and that any signage has to be approved pursuant to the town sign bylaw. So other than that, I don't think we need to do site plan approval. Any thoughts about restrictions, the hours of operation? Jody?
No, not offhand. I mean, 6 a.m. seems early to me, but I'm not in the business, so I don't know. I'm not sure, I would wonder if residents would be concerned about that, but again, I think there's probably where the parking is, it's far enough away from them, it probably wouldn't affect them, but that was my only thought.
Okay. Dave Moniz?
I had the same concern, but it seems to make sense.
Okay. And David Merrill?
I think I'm okay with it, even opening at 6 a.m.
Yeah, and given where it is, and the entrance is right off Route 1. People at that, there aren't going to be that many people at that hour. What about deliveries?
No delivery. Just
I'm sorry.
no delivery. Delivering food or deliveries.
Well,
that
how do you get your food supplies and soft goods and hard goods, and where will that come through the front entrance or?
No, we have a loading dock in the right hand side. We have a loading dock and on the left hand side, all the way in the end of the building, that we are planning to use.
Okay, so Lynn, does that show on the plans?
Yeah, Petco was using that for their deliveries. 18-wheelers would pull in, and they would have a double door in a loading area, in a loading dock on the left-hand side.
Right here, Joseph?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a loading dock on that side, or?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. I guess historically we've had some issues with deliveries. I would not want deliveries to start at 6 a.m. I would like to see deliveries restricted to certainly no earlier than 7.
Absolutely, we can schedule delivery as we can schedule the deliveries at the time we want to. So 7 is still early for deliveries to come in too. So it's not going to be an issue.
Okay. All right. So 8 would be okay then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. So no deliveries before 8 a.m. in the morning.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, all right. Any other restrictions? Anyone else thinks we need?
Can I just confirm that 6 to 9, is that 7 days a week?
Maybe 6 to 7 Sundays.
Yes. How about 8 to 7 on Sunday?
Okay. Can we make it 7 to 7 then?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Thank you.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the special permits and site plan approval?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Hey, roll call. David Merrill,
Yes.
Dave Moniz,
Yes.
Jody Kleinoff,
Yes.
Bob Moriarty.
Yes. Okay, well, you have your vote. We'll have to draft the decision and get it filed. And once it gets filed, then you can start working with the building inspector and the landlord to get this moving. So
Thank you.
we wish you well. Certainly sounds like something that we could use in Topsfield. And hopefully also do a great business with commuters coming down south
Thank
on
you.
Route 1
Mhm.
and north going home. So,
Thanks a lot.
Thank
okay.
you.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Next, we have minutes. Is that correct, Lynn?
Yes, 4 sets. There's 1 from a regular meeting and 3 from an executive session, and the subject of which has concluded, so you're able to vote on them in a public meeting. Jody was kind enough to go through them. The minutes of 10:28, she did some editing, and then she found a missing period in one of the exec session minutes. So if you want to vote for those 2 as amended and the other 2 as presented, we could do that.
Okay. So moved.
Second.
Just quick question. Sorry. Was there anything material that she amended? Other than
No,
that
No.
period?
No.
Okay,
I just missed
great.
some words,
Yep.
with typing too fast. Okay, roll call. David Merrill,
Yes.
Dave Moniz,
Yes.
Jody Kleinoff,
Yes.
Bob Moriarty.
Yes.
Okay, and the other is the 12/17/24 and the 4/22/25 executive session as presented would be the motion.
Yes,
Unless
so
someone has
moved.
a. Okay. Is there a
So
second?
moved.
Okay. Oh, so moved. Do you move mine? David Merrill,
Yes.
Dave
Second.
Monette,
Whatever.
Yes.
Jody Kleinoff,
Yes.
Bob Moriarty.
Yes.
Okay, that's all. But Bob, if you can stay around at the end, just a couple of questions.
Sure. Okay. I move we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
I'll second.
Hey,
Jody was first. Let her second.
okay, a roll call. David Merrill,
Yes.
Dave Moniz,
Yes.
Jody Kleinoff,
Yes.
Bob Moriarty.
Yes.